So I'm working on one of the number 9s I brought in the shop, and you can see my shop is mower rich at the moment. 3 number 9s, 1 number 7. They're pretty well stripped, and that one already has the rusty metal primer on it. The number 7 is not going to be painted, so I can sell a little cheaper. And the other number 9 is stripped. And this one was pretty well stripped when I brought it in. And while those 2 number 9s both have welded frames, this number 9 has a chip out right here, and that happens. My theory is, I've never actually done one myself, but my theory is basically they probably had a leak around the lid, and instead of putting gasket material or something like that on it, they just tried to crank it down so much, and the nut for the bolt for the lid goes right around here somewhere, and so they broke that out. That's my theory. Like I say, I've never actually broken one myself. I've had quite a few of them like this already, and I have patched them in the past or fixed them in the past. So this is, I don't know if it's going to be 3 or 4 short videos, or one long one. I'm not sure yet, but so far this is where I'm at now. And this mower, and one way to tell about mowers, if you look at these holes here, those holes there are exceptionally nice. So this could be a fairly low used machine. Not that it matters, because all the internals are gone anyway. I think I'm actually going to put new wheels on this one and put a trailer gear set of gears in it. To the best of my knowledge, a trailer gear set is going for a mid 500 just for that 2 gears and a lid. So it's a risk. It's a financial risk. It's not really a risk, because those mowers right now in our area are bringing close to between $35,000 and $4,000. So yeah, this mower's been stripped in a parts pile for many years just because of this. So here's where I'm at so far. And fortunately, I have a cast iron gearbox lid. I'm gonna say for every 5 lids, maybe 1 of them are cast iron, the other are pressed steel. And the reason I like to use a cast iron lid is basically, the pressed steel can flex, meaning it may not hold its true shape. So where I'm at so far is basically I've taken a pencil, going around the outside, and that's not really even necessary. This edge here is what's necessary. So I've taken a pencil and marked that out, and I've actually cut that piece of wood out. Underneath I have a 1x8 piece of pine, and I've taken a transfer punch and made a notch, made a divot, make sure my transfer punch is straight and not cupped in any way or curved in any way. And this one, I actually used a bigger transfer punch here, but again, this is the critical one, because this is one we have to replicate inside the gearbox. So now after I've done that, I've actually taken and drilled the holes for that transfer punch where that transfer made the divot. And now I can actually take this and I can bolt it to this frame, and now I can always have this shape. You know, I would probably do that shape without this on, or maybe not even. I've never really done it this way. I've always just kind of put a level across here, made this, put a level across here, and burnt or ground it off while it was on here. But I'm trying to do something a little different, maybe cut down a step or 2. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but now I can actually take that and put here, and what that's going to do is that's going to tell me for sure where this nut will go to make the lid fit nice and tight, or where it's supposed to fit. So that's basically why I did it this way. just so I can locate that nut a little easier. Um, I think there's some flaw in my thinking. I'm not sure. Uh, Basically, one flaw is going to be, and I think I just thought of a way around that, is how to place that nut after I get this on. But if I drill a big access hole in here, I will, yeah, that's a good idea. Huh, I'm glad I'm talking to you guys. So if I drill a big access hole here, I'll be able to make this, put this piece of wood on here, put a nut on the other side of this bolt, and then through that access hole, I'll be able to tack that nut onto my new piece I'm going to build for this. So while it's not perfect, I'm basically taking a frame that was in a parts pile for years and years and years, and as long as be smart with our gasket maker, and typically I use a rope cock. In this instance, I will probably actually use 2 beads of caulk, 2 beads of gasket maker, the flowable kind in the tube, and put a bead on here and put a bead on my lid, and then basically I warn the customer that that's how they should do it if they ever have to access that gearbox. But again, if something goes wrong, it's going to be an oil leak. It's not going to be a catastrophic failure of the mower, which is a big deal. So I think this is longer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm probably going to make a second video of maybe it completed, or maybe me finishing up the welding or the cleaning up process. So, wish me luck. I hope to have this done by the end of the day. Whether or not it's going to happen or not, I'm not sure. So again, that's not going to prevent the mower from being mechanically sound. That is just going to keep the mower from possibly having an oil leak around the gearbox. And while it's annoying, when you're talking number 9 mower, sometimes you have to deal with annoying or I won't say scary situations, but situations like welded frames. Just because in our area they are such at a premium, it's just you're taking what you get right now at the moment, and you're kind of have to be happy about it. So here we go. This is the start of repairing that. I'll say nut and patching that gap in the gearbox.